Today, December 18th, carries a different kind of weight, my child. This moment is not ordinary, and this message is not simply passing through your screen by chance. It is not just another voice asking for your attention. There is a reason these words feel heavy even before you fully understand them, and there is a reason something within you chose to stay instead of moving on. Time feels slower right now, not because of coincidence, but because something that has been quietly moving around your life has reached a point where it can no longer remain hidden. Archangel Michael speaks with clarity today because gentle whispers would have been too easy to ignore. These words are not meant to frighten you, but to interrupt you. Some moments require interruption, because certain paths cannot continue without correction. This is one of those moments. If what you are reading feels uncomfortable, it is not because something is wrong with you, but because comfort had allowed something important to go unnoticed. What was familiar kept you unaware of something that needed to be seen before it quietly grew into consequence. You may have already felt the signs without being able to explain them. A heaviness that appeared without a clear reason. A sense of unease even when nothing seemed wrong on the surface. Moments when your intuition gently suggested that something was out of alignment, even as your logic tried to dismiss the feeling. These sensations were not weakness, and they were not fear. They were early signals, meant to slow you down before something meaningful slipped past you unnoticed. Right now, you are standing at a crossroads, whether you realize it or not. One direction allows you to keep moving forward on momentum alone, repeating emotional patterns that slowly drain you over time. The other direction asks for awareness, presence, and the courage to pause long enough to be redirected. This is why Archangel Michael steps forward now. The time for subtle nudges has passed. What comes next requires clarity rather than comfort. There was a situation forming around you that did not hold peace in its future. Not a dramatic collapse or a sudden disaster, but something far more dangerous in the long run. A gradual erosion of energy, a quiet weakening of confidence, a slow drifting away from your own intuition. These are the kinds of losses that do not announce themselves loudly, and that is exactly why intervention arrives now. You have been carrying weight that was never meant to stay with you, emotional responsibility that did not belong to you, tension absorbed from someone or something that leaned on your strength while quietly pulling you off course. You felt it as exhaustion that sleep could not fix, confusion that rest did not clear, and an emotional fog that came and went without explanation. This was not your failure. It was misplaced loyalty, and today that imbalance begins to shift. This message reaches you now because something meant for you was delayed, not denied. Delayed by distraction, by staying longer than your spirit was asking you to, by trusting situations that slowly dulled your clarity. But delays are not endless, my child, and this one has reached its limit. A doorway is beginning to open, and it requires awareness to step through it. If you feel resistance as you read these words, notice it. Resistance often appears when truth comes close to dismantling a familiar pattern. Familiar does not always mean safe. Very often, familiar simply means tolerated. Archangel Michael is not here to threaten you, but to remove you from a path that would have cost you peace, time, and trust in yourself if it had continued unchecked. Something unseen has been influencing your choices lately, not controlling you, but quietly nudging you toward hesitation, doubt, or emotional compromise. You may have noticed yourself questioning instincts that once felt clear, or feeling disconnected from your usual sense of direction. These were not random fluctuations. They were signs that your energy was being pulled somewhere that did not serve your future. Stay present now, my child, not because you are being commanded, but because awareness is protection. Each moment you remain attentive loosens something that has been quietly attached to your path. This is not imagination. This is alignment returning. When guidance arrives this directly, it is because correction must happen before momentum carries you further than you were meant to go. You are not being warned because something bad must happen. You are being warned because something can be prevented. Fear freezes, but guidance redirects. Archangel Michael does not speak of tragedy to create panic. He intervenes to adjust your course while choice is still available to you. Soon, you will begin to notice a shift in how your body and mind respond to the world around you. The heaviness will begin to lift. Clarity will return where confusion once lingered. A sense of inner steadiness will come back without effort. These are not imagined feelings. They are signals that something draining has begun to release its hold on you. This moment matters because what comes next will help you understand why you were guided here today, why this date holds significance, and why skipping this message would have kept you unaware of an important turning point. This is not the end. It is the threshold, and once crossed, things cannot return to the way they were before. As you move beyond this point of awareness, you may feel a deep stillness settling around you. This stillness is not emptiness. It is space. When something is being removed from your path, the noise quiets first. Distractions soften. Urgency turns inward. The silence you sense is the beginning of separation. There has been a pattern repeating in your life, subtle enough to miss, yet strong enough to delay your progress. You felt it as hesitation before decisions, emotional fatigue without a clear cause, and moments when your confidence dipped unexpectedly. These were not flaws in your character. They were signs of misalignment, energy slowly being drawn away from where it was meant to flow. Not every danger arrives with chaos. Some come quietly, wrapped in familiarity, obligation, or comfort. They drain instead of destroy. They confuse instead of confront. Because they do not appear threatening, they are often tolerated far longer than they should be. This is why intervention comes now, before tolerance turns into consequence. You may be starting to realize that certain connections in your life have felt heavier than they should. Conversations that left you tired instead of uplifted. Situations that demanded constant emotional adjustment. Expectations that took more than they gave. Your heart is generous, my child, but generosity without boundaries becomes depletion. Heaven has seen this imbalance, and today marks the beginning of correction. There is something important you must understand. Protection does not always look like something being added. Sometimes it looks like something being removed. Sometimes it looks like distance. Sometimes it looks like confusion that forces you to pause instead of moving forward blindly. What felt like delay was not abandonment. It was shielding. What seemed like nothing happening was actually prevention. Your intuition has been trying to reach you for some time through quiet discomfort, recurring thoughts, and that soft inner voice reminding you that something was not right. When intuition is ignored too often, guidance becomes clearer. This message is that clarity. Right now, unseen adjustments are taking place around you. Energy that once influenced your emotions, focus, and decisions is loosening its grip. You may feel waves of emotion, followed by unexpected clarity. This is not instability. It is recalibration. When something detaches, the body often feels it before the mind understands it. There was never a tragedy written into your fate. What was forming was the result of staying misaligned for too long. Not a sudden event, but a slow narrowing of options and a quiet dimming of discernment. Archangel Michael intervenes now not to alarm you, but to widen your path again, to return choice where momentum had begun to take over. You have been carrying far more than anyone ever realized. Some responsibilities became yours because you cared deeply. Some burdens stayed with you because you were afraid of letting people down. Other emotional weights settled in simply because you were strong enough to hold them when no one else would. But strength was never meant to turn into obligation, and compassion was never meant to erase you in the process. As this inner correction begins to unfold, you may notice resistance rising from within. You might feel the urge to justify staying where you are, or a quiet temptation to downplay what your heart is telling you. This response is natural. Familiar discomfort often feels safer than unfamiliar freedom. Yet safety that depends on suppressing yourself is not real safety at all. It is simply delay. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that the door opening now leads toward clarity rather than chaos, toward alignment rather than loss. What you were afraid to leave behind was never meant to move forward with you. And what is waiting for you cannot enter while your hands are still full of what no longer serves you. You are being asked, gently but firmly, to stay aware in the coming hours and days. Not anxious, not hyper-alert, simply aware. Notice how your body responds to people, places, and choices. Pay attention to where peace grows and where tension returns. These responses are your compass during this transition. Something important is also returning to you now, something that was slowly taken without your consent. Your sense of inner authority is coming back. Your trust in your own perception is strengthening again. Your ability to make decisions without endlessly second-guessing yourself is reawakening. As the drain weakens, these qualities will feel stronger and more natural. You will recognize them as a quiet confidence that no longer needs approval or validation. This process is not about blame, not toward yourself and not toward anyone else. It is about clarity. Some people did not intend to hurt you, yet their presence was incompatible with where you are going. Some situations were not harmful in nature, but they were limiting in effect. Understanding this allows you to let go without bitterness. Soon, you will notice that decisions feel simpler. You will no longer need to overanalyze what feels right. Alignment simplifies everything, while confusion complicates it. As your path clears, the difference will become unmistakable. There is also something meant specifically for you that has been waiting for space to open. It may be an opportunity, a realization, a connection, or a shift that requires you to be energetically available. This is why the clearing happens first. Blessings do not force their way in. They wait until you are ready to receive them fully. Do not rush this moment or try to control how fast things move. Trust the timing that brought you here. Trust the pause, the redirection, the quiet reshaping. What is leaving was never meant to remain. What is approaching will feel different because it arrives without draining you. You are not losing anything essential. You are reclaiming yourself. Stay present. What comes next is built upon this clarity, and in time it will reveal why everything happening now was necessary. As the separation continues, you may experience emotional waves that don't seem logical. Calm moments may suddenly give way to unease, not because something is wrong, but because something is loosening its hold. When energy disconnects, it rarely leaves silently. It unravels first, and that unraveling can feel unsettling if you do not understand what is happening. Awareness is your anchor now. Knowing the meaning of this phase will help you stay steady as the shift completes. You have spent too long in environments that required constant adjustment instead of authenticity. You learned how to bend, how to explain yourself, how to carry emotional weight that was not equally returned. This pattern didn't form because you were weak, but because you were kind. Yet kindness without discernment slowly becomes self-sacrifice. Heaven never asks you to destroy yourself to prove your heart. That lesson is finishing now, and endings often feel uncomfortable before they feel freeing. The resistance you feel is not coming from your future. It is rising from your past. Old attachments resist release because they rely on familiarity rather than alignment. They whisper doubt, nostalgia, and fear of the unknown. But the unknown ahead of you is safer than the familiar patterns that were draining you. This is why clarity is being pressed forward rather than gently suggested. This moment calls for decisiveness, not hesitation. You may have already noticed that your tolerance has shifted. Things you once overlooked now feel heavy. Conversations that were once manageable now feel draining. Situations that once seemed harmless now feel out of place. This does not mean you are becoming difficult. It means your awareness is sharpening. Growth often feels uncomfortable before it feels peaceful because the nervous system is adjusting to a higher truth. There is also grief woven into this phase, even if you cannot immediately name it. You may grieve the version of yourself who endured quietly for too long. You may grieve the time spent hoping situations would change when they never did. You may even grieve people who were unable to meet you where you truly were. Grief is not regression. It is acknowledgement, and acknowledgement allows release to complete. Not every warning arrives wrapped in fear. Some arrive wrapped in clarity so sharp it cuts illusion away cleanly. What was being prevented was not dramatic destruction, but a slow spiritual erosion. A future where your intuition weakened, your self-trust faded, and your purpose became secondary to emotional survival. That future has been interrupted, and interruption often feels abrupt. As this continues, your dreams may become more vivid, your thoughts more reflective, and your emotions briefly more intense. This is not imbalance. It is integration. When old energy detaches, the subconscious recalibrates. You are releasing layers that once shaped your reactions, and your mind is reorganizing around truth instead of habit. You are also stepping into a phase where truth reveals itself without effort. People may show their intentions without confrontation. Situations may resolve through clarity rather than conflict. Choices that once felt impossible may suddenly feel obvious. This is alignment clearing distortion from your perception. It is important now that you do not rush to replace what is leaving. Emptiness is not absence. It is preparation. The space forming around you is intentional. Something meant for you needs room to arrive fully, without interference from old patterns or unresolved attachments. Filling the space too quickly would only repeat the cycle that is ending. There may be moments when you wonder if you are overthinking everything. That doubt is simply the final echo of misalignment trying to stay relevant. Trust your inner clarity more than mental noise. The calm moments speak more truth than the anxious ones. Peace is your compass. Your role in this phase is not to fight, fix, or force anything. Your role is to stay aware and honest. Awareness keeps you from slipping backward. Honesty keeps you from abandoning yourself again. What is being prepared for you is stable, not fragile. It will not require emotional compromise or constant adjustment. It will meet you where you are rather than asking you to shrink. This is why the clearing feels intense. Your next chapter cannot begin while remnants of the old one still occupy your energy. You may notice changes in how others respond to you. Some may drift away without explanation. Others may suddenly respect boundaries they once ignored. Do not chase clarity through words. Behavior speaks clearly enough. Alignment always reveals truth without effort. The momentum that follows this phase will feel unlike anything before. It will not feel rushed or forced. It will feel steady, grounded, and quietly powerful. That is how you will know the redirection worked. Stay present. Do not question the discomfort or romanticize what is leaving. You are not losing anything meant to sustain you. You are releasing what kept you from fully stepping into what lies ahead. This feeling may catch you off guard because chaos had become so familiar that calm once felt almost suspicious. But this calm is not empty or fragile. It is strong. It is built. It is the result of protection fully activating around your path. Archangel Michael reveals that what was removed could not move forward with you without harming what was meant to grow. That is why separation came before reward. Blessings cannot exist alongside what slowly drains them. Alignment requires honesty, and honesty requires that you stop carrying weights that were never yours to begin with. The discomfort you felt was not loss. It was the price of release. You are now stepping into a phase where your inner voice grows louder than the noise around you. You may notice that opinions which once swayed you no longer hold the same power. Expectations that once felt heavy now feel optional. This is not rebellion. This is your authority returning to where it belongs, within you. When inner authority is restored, confusion loses its grip. My child, something important is approaching, but it will not come with chaos or emotional overwhelm. It will arrive quietly, firmly, and with a deep sense of rightness. That is how you will recognize it. What is meant for you does not rush you or pressure you. It meets you where you are. Alignment feels calm, even when it changes everything. You may also notice that your reactions are shifting. You are less reactive, less defensive, less inclined to explain yourself. This is not indifference. It is discernment. You no longer need to justify your boundaries or over-explain your truth. Those who are meant to understand will do so without effort. Those who resist will reveal themselves naturally. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this stage is about stabilization. You are not meant to analyze every feeling or predict every outcome. Overthinking was necessary when intuition was blocked. Now your intuition is clear. Trust it. Simplicity is returning to your decisions, and that simplicity will protect you. There is also a quiet confidence forming within you. Not the loud kind that seeks approval, but the steady kind that does not need reassurance. This confidence comes from knowing you survived something that once threatened to wear you down. You did not come through unchanged. You came through sharpened, and that clarity allows you to see with precision. If you look back honestly, you will see that the last phase of your life required constant emotional management. You were always adjusting, compensating, or explaining. That phase is complete. What comes next does not require self-erasure. It requires presence, and presence is something you already carry. Soon you may receive confirmation that staying aware was the right choice. This confirmation may arrive as a realization, a message, or a sudden clarity that settles an old question. When it comes, it will not shock you. It will feel inevitable, as though your spirit already knew. This is a gentle invitation to acknowledge your presence, not from obligation, but from alignment. If something within you recognizes this moment, allow yourself to reflect that awareness. These actions are not about numbers or validation. They are declarations that you are choosing awareness over avoidance. Archangel Michael emphasizes that your willingness to remain present has already shifted your path. Direction changes when attention changes. You did not need to fight. You needed to see, and seeing clearly stopped what could have drained you further. The protection around you now is active, not symbolic. You will notice it through timing that supports you, conversations that bring clarity instead of confusion, and decisions that feel right without struggle. When protection fully engages, life moves with less resistance. What once felt blocked begins to loosen, not all at once, but enough to show momentum building. There may still be moments when doubt tries to creep in, especially if the outer world has not fully caught up yet. Do not confuse timing with absence. The internal shift always happens first. The external follows once stability is established. Your role now is to stay grounded. Do not rush. Do not swing to extremes. Do not return to what you have already outgrown simply because it feels familiar. Familiarity is not confirmation. Peace is. Archangel Michael reminds you that what approaches next will not require you to compromise your intuition. It will respect your boundaries, support your growth, and strengthen your clarity. That is how you will know it belongs in your life. You are closer than you think. You have reached the point where the shift no longer needs to announce itself. It is already underway. The turbulence that once surrounded you is settling, not because the world changed, but because your position within it has. You are no longer standing where you once were. Something inside you realigned, and now life is adjusting around that new alignment. This is how true transformation completes itself, quietly and permanently. Archangel Michael's presence feels steady now, like a shield that no longer needs to be raised because the threat has passed. What was working against your peace has lost its momentum. What drained your clarity no longer has access. Challenges may still arise, but you will no longer meet them from a place of exhaustion. You are stronger, clearer, and more grounded than before. You may notice that old fears no longer linger in your thoughts the way they once did. They may surface briefly, but they no longer take root. This is one of the clearest signs that the cycle has closed. When something no longer controls your inner dialogue, it no longer controls your direction. The difficulty that was being prevented was never meant to define you. It was meant to be avoided, and awareness was the key. You listened when it mattered. You stayed present when it would have been easier to distract yourself or turn away. That choice alone changed everything. What comes next will feel different from what you have known recently. It will not feel heavy or confusing. It will not require you to sacrifice pieces of yourself to sustain it. Whether it arrives as an opportunity, a connection, a realization, or a clear decision, it will carry a sense of peace that you cannot mistake. There is also a quiet restoration happening within you. Your confidence is returning, not as arrogance, but as trust in yourself. Your instincts feel reliable again. Your feelings no longer feel like something to suppress or question. This restoration matters because what comes next asks you to stand in your own authority. You may one day look back on this moment and recognize it as the end of something you struggled to name. The end of carrying emotional weight that was never yours. The end of explaining yourself to people who never intended to understand you. The end of shrinking to belong. Endings like these do not arrive with noise. They arrive with relief. As things settle, clarity about your future begins to form. Not a full plan, but enough direction to take the next step with confidence. That is all you are meant to have right now. Too much future too soon creates anxiety. Alignment reveals only what you are ready to walk toward. Archangel Michael reminds you that protection does not mean isolation. It means knowing who and what is allowed close to you. Saying no will feel easier. Saying yes will feel safer. Your boundaries will feel natural rather than defensive. Some people will drift away. Others will step closer with respect. Let this happen without resistance. Alignment reorganizes relationships on its own. The path ahead will not be perfect, but it will be honest, and honesty creates stability. You will no longer need to betray yourself to keep the peace. Peace will come from alignment, not accommodation. The heaviness you carried served its purpose. It woke you up, taught you to listen, but it does not move forward with you. This chapter is complete. You are stepping into a phase where movement replaces stagnation and clarity replaces confusion. Archangel Michael's final reminder is simple. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Trust the calm more than the noise. When something is aligned, you will not need convincing. When something is wrong, you will not need permission to walk away.